Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to conduct the last Dhamma session. So as usual, Chandrika is ready with written reports and questions. So we'll start with the written reports.
Avasarai Bhante, we have 5 reports today. Report number 1, sitting meditation. I usually do walking meditation for about 25 minutes prior to doing sitting meditation. I observe the following while engaging in sitting meditation, which I do for about half an hour to 45 minutes at a stretch before taking a break. A. My breathing subsides and disappears within 1 or 2 minutes. B. Next, I find myself becoming calm and thoughts free and feel very peaceful, and this lasts for a long time. However, after about 5 minutes, if not less, I begin to yawn continuously about 10 times within a short time span. Note that this yawning I experience is distinctly different for the yawning in my everyday life, where yawning is followed by drowsiness and sleepy feeling. By contrast, this yawning has a rejuvenating / energizing effect on me. I feel wide awake and I experience clearing of my phlegm in my throat and flow of tears as I am quietly crying. Within brackets, I don't feel sad though. Also, I note birds singing type of background noise, but I hear in a non-engaging listening mode. What am I to do next? Am I on the right path? Please advise Bhante. Thero Saranai. P.S. You gave me guidance on walking meditation yesterday and assured me I was on the right path. Hence, I follow guidelines on sitting. Hence, I focused on sitting meditation only.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite natural. So once you reach a particular milestone in your practice, so this happens. So very much like you are really relaxed in that relaxed state you have maintained for a while. And the mind has landed in that relaxed state for a while, and then the session finished, and then the yawning happens. So this yawning is, as you beautifully mentioned, it is kind of a rejuvenating and kind of refreshing type of yawning. It's quite different from the typical yawning what we do just before, say, before you fall asleep, that you yawn. That's different from this one. So this is maybe a kind of really large mouth open type of yawning, and it's really better to happen. Allow it to happen, so though that you become more and more relaxed. Your tension. Now one thing is now, particularly during the sitting session, there could be a little bit of tension in case you are gathering some sort of concentration. Because at the beginning we are focusing our attention, we are concentrating. Rather than opening up, we do a little bit of concentration. So that can relate to a little bit of inner tension. But after the yawning, that also has disappeared. Complete relaxation is there. So your mind will be more clear, more calm, more quiet. And on the other hand, say if you have any kind of not really a headache, but a little heaviness in your headache, after yawning, that also will disappear. So therefore, there's a healing effect in this type of yawning. So it can be welcome. Therefore, nothing to worry. So just yawn. And after that, just relax. I mean, you don't need to again sit back and practice. Rather, just spend a few minutes, just relax, just look around, and just enjoy something like that. Because the session is over, that the final Thanksgiving done. Yeah.
Report number 2. Most Venerable Bhante, I am a beginner to meditation. I try to meditate often, but it does not happen. I know it is my weakness. During Q&A sessions, I hear people saying they feel that during their sitting, they feel nothingness, etc. I do not feel same or such things. Please kindly explain.
Yeah, one moment. So you don't need to worry about this. So when people are talking about emptiness, nothingness, signless, so these are, nothing to worry. Just just pay attention to your practice. Because here we have different collection of yogis. So some are beginners, some are, say, continuing, say, collecting their mind, developing fair amount of mindfulness concentration, and some are even practicing kind of reflective type of practice, again and again paying attention to various phenomena and trying to see their nature. So that type of practice. And some others are able to let go of everything and keep the mind relaxed. So maybe now landed in the emptiness. So likewise, different areas are there in practice. So we can't jump to the other one. Even though you hear that others are saying this and that, it doesn't mean that you can easily or rather quickly get into that, because it's a kind of a stepwise process, gradual process. So we need to go through the cycle. So only thing is you can be encouraged. That's the point. Because you know that people are there who have really done their job, still practicing, that they have reached certain milestones, so they are honestly explaining it. So that means it's a doable thing, it's a possible thing. It is not a mere theoretical thing, rather you can experience it. So that is the motivation that you are getting, but you have to do your own practice. Then one day you also may start experiencing what you have heard. So far it is just a direction, just an indication, okay, these things are possible, just keep it to that level, just continue your own practice.
Her practice. I concentrate on the sensations I feel when I do walking meditation till I finish. I concentrate on the features of breath like long and shortness, etc. till I finish. Am I on the correct path? Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah. So basically, there are various sensations. So it's our duty to locate our attention or position our attention properly to there, and then start kind of a observation. So there are also, we need to train the mind so that you are not being stressed up because of this kind of investigation. Again, you are not being distracted either. So you have to maintain a proper balance. So you are observing, but not distracted, not sleeping, but observing and giving some distance so that the phenomena can naturally evolve. You are not interfering it, you are not forcing it, controlling it, nothing. You simply allow the phenomena to naturally evolve, naturally unfold, and you being the unbiased observer. So this is the way that we are sort of trying to develop the insights. So when the mind is very relaxed, calm, quiet, well concentrated, such mind, once it is encounter all these different changing phenomena, start learning, start understanding things. So that is a deep kind of unconscious type of, that the subconscious level type of impact is there in that practice. So later the mind learns, mind understands what's really going on through this silent observation. It is not that you are trying to influence the mind, telling it is impermanent, unsatisfactoriness, non-self. No. That will be shown by the phenomena. That's why we are now in experimenting by ourselves. Buddha has done his experiment and shown, okay, this is the nature. Okay, we too have to see it. We too have to do our own experiment, and then we can see, we can understand. So that is the important thing. So what you are doing is correct. So continue your practice. So probably one thing is, if you have just started observing those phenomena, so later you can see many phenomena or more details of the phenomena. Or if you are in the middle of, or you are observing it for a long time now, so there may be certain changes happening within you. Say, for example, certain behavioral changes can happen within you. Say, your character may change even. So that's why it is not something that we are superficially trying to observe. Rather, this observation has a great impact to our mind, our way of looking at things, our attitude, our character, our behavior, how our mind, grasp things. All that has a certain impact, this type of practice. Even though it appears like that every day we are practicing, every day we are observing, never ending. Sometimes it's discouraging, but it has to have an impact onto your mind. So the way you are looking at things, the way the mind behaved, say, 1 year ago, and how it is behaving today, has to have a kind of a difference. So you have to feel it. So assume that 1 year ago I am crying, I am so much of short-tempered, I am basically impatient, I am always arrogant, or I am grasping things, getting tensed, agitated. Where am I now? Am I able to look back? Am I able to step back and see my character, see my behavior, see my own emotions, or recognize various, defilements, and understanding kind of, okay, there's a way to be with a situation without getting sort of burned or without being much affected. It's not that you completely escape, but you are in the scene, but not much affected, while others are crying and laughing and all that, but you are calm and quiet and observing. So likewise, certain changes has to happen to your life that has to be felt honestly by yourself. So that's why, even though you can't see much improvement to the practice as per se, but to your character, to your mentality, to your attitude, how you are looking at things, has a great impact. It will take time, so don't rush yourself. That's why, even the first question has an indication, okay, they are talking some high things, so I'm still, so don't worry. So mistakes are okay, all are welcome. Spend some time, take some time, don't worry.
Another part on that. Appreciate very much if you can kindly explain the difference between Samatha and Vipassana and the benefits of each one.
Yeah, Samatha meditation. So typically our minds are quite distracted, scattered, and we get overwhelmed by too much thinking, obsessive thinking, and we are unable to pay attention to a particular scene for a long time. So this is the typical mindset we have. So the Samatha meditation helps us to calm down, relax, concentrate, collect our attention, be with it, with a given, phenomena, okay, you be with it. And again, it generates certain amount of joy in yourself. So you abandon all the worries, regrets and etc. But now you are joyful while you are practicing Samatha. So many such benefits are there. Now you feel, okay, now I can keep the mind quiet even without thinking. I can keep the mind quiet with certain phenomena. Say, for example, you are practicing Buddhanusati. Again and again, arahang, fine, no problem. So you are maintaining calmness, tranquility in the mind, and the mind also feel uplifted, and you feel a lot of joy, faith towards the Buddha. So many, that some positive benefits are there when you are practicing even Samatha. And even if you practice Anapanasati, same effect can happen, not at the beginning, but later you can see even the breath become really beautiful, kind of a beautiful breath. So you are enjoying breathing. So each breath brings you some joy. Each breath brings you some joy. So likewise, different stages are there in the Samatha practice. And say you are coming to a state where mind is very calm, very quiet, completely tranquil, almost like blissed out. Things are possible. But on the other hand, in the Vipassana, so once you have this kind of a collected mind, so rather than simply enjoying it and absorb to it, so the invitation is to spend some time to observe various phenomena. It may be bodily phenomena, it may be feelings, it may be mental images or inner fabrications, inner thoughts series. All that are under quite investigation, kind of a scrutiny, in order to see their true nature. Because point is, we don't know the thing properly, so we are deluded. Like our fair amount of ignorance is there available in our mind. Now, rather than simply believing or learning from outside, now you are simply trying to learn or understand directly. So direct experience is given the prominence. But the tools are mindfulness, concentration, and you are properly balancing the effort. Now with that, okay, you allow things to happen, unfold naturally. You be the unbiased, silent observer. So this observer will slowly start understanding how they are behaving, how they are, how they are manifesting, how impermanent they are, how unsatisfactory they are, how non-governable they are. There is nothing intrinsically available in it. So likewise, from different angles, you start developing insights. So that's why it's called insight meditation. So the eye-opening kind of things are there. Aha events are there. So it takes time, by the way. So don't expect aha today. Maybe haha today, tomorrow aha. So very interesting way that Buddha is teaching us. So it's a kind of allowing the things to happen as you, particularly when you are into practice, particularly in the Vipassana. By the way, here I don't like to promote pure samatha because that has certain amount of disadvantages as well. So that's why we are trying to keep a little bit of Vipassana from the beginning. I am not saying that from the beginning you are practicing Vipassana, but once you come to a certain amount of concentration, I like to introduce bit of Yoniso Manasikara, bit of investigation. Not to the very deep type of thing, but just not mere mindfulness and concentration, but mindfulness, concentration, and then little bit of investigation. Sati Sampajanya. Then you are in a safe hand because you are very much like enriched with different aspects. You know that the Buddha taught 5 faculties, Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. So because you all are fairly faithful, that's why we are here. And the effort is also has to be continuous. It also has to be balanced on the way while we are practicing. So the mindfulness, concentration and wisdom are very much like available. So that's what we are paying attention and developing. So mindfulness has to be developed, concentration has to be developed, wisdom also has to be developed. So in order to do that, you need to balance the effort, have to have continuous effort also. Even though you fail, still have to have faith, okay, I will succeed. Quite challenging. Today you fail, but still believe, okay, definitely it will work, don't worry. Just keep going. So keep going.
Report number 3. Dear Bhante, Mano Dhatu, the brain, Mano Vijnana Dhatu, mind. Please explain these two and importance of this duality in consciousness and behavioral actions. Above duality is found in Buddhist philosophy, not in other related disciplines.
Mano Dhatu, Mano Vijnana Dhatu. Now there are 18 Dhatu, now 18 elements. Another teaching, another way of presentation. Now 5 aggregates is one way of presentation. Then 12 ayatana is another way of presentation. Then 18 elements are another way of presentation. Let me see, what are the 18 elements? Chakku, Rupa and Chakku Vijnana. Then Sota, Saddha and Sota Vijnana. Then Ghana, Gandha, Ghana Vijnana. Jivha, Rasa and Jivha Vijnana. And then Kaya, Pottabba and Kaya Vijnana. Then Mano, Dhamma and Mano Vijnana. So altogether 18. So we are talking about the ayatanas, that means internal and external ayatana, as well as the corresponding consciousness. So altogether we are talking them as 18 elements. The point is, none of them are having any intrinsic personality or any intrinsic self in it. So that's why the term dhatu particularly emphasize there is nothing, any soul-like thing. There is no any self-like thing. Nothing substantial there. So due to causes and conditions, these elements are popping up, coming up, manifesting. And once the causes are abandoned, they fall apart. They disappear. They collapse. So, Mano Dhatu and Mano Vijnana Dhatu. So, Mano Vijnana Dhatu we can understand. So, the Mano Dhatu here, the typical mind, and the Dhamma Dhatu is where the objects appearing in the mind. Api kiyane deval kiyala. So, the things. So, things are the Dhamma. So, to the like to your eye, there are various visual objects set to your mind. So there are various mind objects. So all generally we are calling as Dhamma Dhatu. So the inside part, the cognition part, we tell as the Mano Dhatu. And as a result of their impingement, then you being aware of it, you do the cognition, we call it as Mano Viññāna Dhatu. Mano Viññāna Dhatu is where the product. It's a totally dependent thing. You can read Dutiya Dvayang Sutta, where Buddha give this explanation where Chakku and then the Rupa, then the Chakku Viññāna. So these are, the Chakku Viññāna is dependent on Chakku and the Rupa. That means the Chakku Viññāna, the knowing part, consciousness part, is a product, is a result of the eye and the form. Similarly, the Sota Viññāna is a product of ear and the sound. So likewise. Similarly, Mano Viññāna Dhatu is a product of Mana and the Dhamma. So once they contact, then the Mano Viññāna Dhatu pops up, comes up. It's a completely dependent thing. Dependently arisen something is what called Mano Viññāna Dhatu. Again, you can read Madhupindika Sutta, Chakkuncha Paticca Rupecha Uppajjati Chakku Viññāna. Similarly, Manancha Paticca Dhammecha Uppajjati Mano Viññāna. Tinnan Sangati Passo, Passapacchaya Vedana, Yang Vediti Tan Sanjanati. Like that. I hope enough.
Number 4, Theruvan Saranai. Dear Bhante, thinking is closely linked with knowledge. The former governs the latter. Constantly, I'll read it again. It's a bit complicated for me.
Someone is coming from the Buddhist studies maybe.
I think, yeah, philosophy.
Yes. Good.
Dear Bhante, thinking is closely linked with knowledge. The forms governs the latter. Consequently, the latter is subjected to be changed. There are different levels of thinking, differently. They indicate one's cognitive power. Education encourages first lower order thinking. Yet, Abhidhamma...
First lower order.
Lower order thinking. Yet, Abhidhamma encourages higher order thinking, such as analyzing. How do you think about this situation in consciousness?
Difficult question. At least 20 marks should be given. No, by the way, I mean, we can't say now if you are trying to have a judgment like, okay, the suttas are, the typical conventional things, and but Abhidhamma is the real essence and that is the most deeper thing. I don't like to agree with it, because this is a kind of a perception we have today, thinking Abhidhamma is really the great thing. The sutta study or the understanding, the knowledge available in the suttas are, very like superficial, rather superficial, we can say, easy to understand, not at all. So the suttas actually lead you to a deeper understanding to yourself. Abhidhamma may give you an analytical, intellectual kind of explanation to your experience. It is still superficial. Probably you can try to experience it, but the experiencing, the directions, the guidelines are really available at the sutta level. So if we are trying to have a judgment, okay, so what we learn as suttas are conventional stuff, those are some superficial stuff, easy to understand. Abhidhamma is the real thing, that's the most intellectual, advanced stuff, difficult to understand. I don't like to agree with it. And learning, as you said, learning and the knowledge. So you can learn a lot. You can read suttas, you can read Abhidhamma, many things you can read, and you can gather information. Then you can say, I am a knowledgeable person. But as we discussed, I think yesterday, still superficial. Still superficial. You haven't touched the Dhamma. You can hold a PhD in Buddhist studies, but not yet known the taste of the Dhamma. So that's the bad thing. You know that's a problem with us, the Buddhists. So we read a lot, we hear a lot of Dhamma sermons, we gather a lot of information, and we think we know. Kind of a overestimation, but not really taste in the Dhamma. So the tasting the Dhamma, as we yesterday or day before mentioned, you don't need much to taste the Dhamma. So I got some time back, I got a really beautiful drawing. You know the ladder? For what are we using the ladder? To climb some distance, right? Assume that we want to climb and hit the, that roof. Okay, assume now we have 100 ladders. You can put it like onto the horizontal way. One ladder horizontal, on top of that another ladder horizontal, another ladder like this. Huh? One ladder here, another ladder here, another ladder here. Till that you get many ladders, so that one after the other you go to touch the roof. Another clever guy, he picks one ladder and he put like this, reach the roof. Which one is correct? One ladder is enough. You don't need many ladders. So therefore, it's okay to listen to Dhamma, learn, read, etc. But use at least one to practice. So don't keep gathering information and loading yourself. But ultimately you have to throw away everything. Remember that. So it is not to gather things. That's why Buddha particularly emphasize Kullupamang o bhikkhave dhamman desissami nittaranattaya no gahanattaya. Monks, I am teaching you Dhamma as a way of using a raft. It is for you to cross to the other shore. Don't hold it and carry it. Just keep it. The purpose of Dhamma is to cross to the other shore. If you are not using it properly and trying to embody it, trying to experience it, then we are superficially touching and gathering more and more information. That's the problem. So that knowledge, what we are talking here, is like that. So you gathered a lot of information, you read many books, and maybe did some little bit of contemplation, and a lot of information is available, knowledge is available. But that is also appreciated by the Buddha. Don't think that, say, it is not appreciated. So it is also mentioned, say, there's a very beautiful statement about the Bahusutta Bhava. The Bahusutta, Sutta, Datta, Vachata, Parichita, Ime Dhamma, Bubbe Kalyanam, Majje Kalyanam, Paryosana Kalyanam, Tatha Dhamma, Sutta, like Buddha explained. So this Dhamma is beautiful at the beginning, beneficial at the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful at the end. So such Dhamma he has learned a lot, he heard a lot, he has contemplated a lot, so he has gathered a lot, he can remember a lot. That's also appreciated, by the way, being a Bahusutta, a learned person. But on the other hand, the practice is extremely critical, it's very, very important. And some teachers are beautifully mentioning, say, tons of gathered information and 1 ounce of practice. 1 ounce of practice is worth more than the tons of gathered information. So therefore, try to find an ounce just to be a practitioner, and then you taste the Dhamma. Taste of the Dhamma is the most beautiful thing. So you can do a PhD about the apple, not knowing the taste of an apple. It doesn't take long time to taste it. Better taste an apple. Yeah.
Last one, report number 5. Dear Bhante, you told something very critical. Namarupa Pachaya Vijnana. Paticca Samuppada is discussed on Hetupala Vadaya at once Pratisandhi. What happens after jati till death seems vice versa of sum of or stroke all the readings in Paticca Samuppada at Pratisandhi.
Last
what happens after jati till death seems vice versa of sum of the readings in Paticca Samuppada?
I can't understand the last part. So actually the point is this. Now Paticca you can apply to the present life. Now the commentary has taken it differently. It is trying to apply it to 3 lives. So certain parts of this formula, avijja pacca sankhara, sankhara pacca vijnanam, vijnana pacca namarupam, that whole formula, you are divided into 3 parts. First part belongs to the previous life, another part belongs to the present life, another part belongs to the next life. So this is the kind of traditional commentarial explanation to the Paticca. But that is not how the Buddha is explaining it. Buddha is explaining it to the present life, to present phenomena, to the present event. So how you deludedly grasp something and you end up with suffering as a result of some sort within a certain incident. Say for example, you are suppose that you are simply watching a movie and you get bored, and you are certain thoughts are coming to your mind, imagining about having an ice cream. Okay, and that images keep on coming to your mind, and your mind get occupied. And today also we had ice cream, so mind keep on occupied, and at one given moment you are triggered to get up. Right? You can't now bear it because the mind is fully tangled with the that images and the taste and feeling and all fantasies now being prepared. Now you can't simply wait. Now you get up. Now you go to the fridge, open the fridge. It is there. Now you put your hand, you take it, open it, put something, start tasting it. Now you close your eyes. You are now there, enjoying it. You are born to a new world. So you are assume that I'm exaggerating things to explain. So you are completely in a different world now. You can't remember you are in Kalalgoda, you are at your home. You are completely at a tasty world. So you are there, fully born there. After that you found, it's finished. All again collapse. So it can't last forever. Again you collapse. So all our sense experience is like that. So first you driven by such kind of a mental fabrication, or we can say desire. Definitely desire is there. So anyway, that momentum what you gathered from this consciousness and name and form, once it reaches to some peak, you can't simply keep it to the mental level. Now your 6 senses start operating. Your salayatana now come into the action. You get up, you walk, and you see the ice cream, you open the door and start taking it. Now tasting, the tongue also now get involved. So all different 6 senses, either tongue, nose, ear, body, these senses are now into operation at a gross level. Previously it is completely at the mental level. You are imagining about it, thinking that you can be satisfied by having it, and you get some past memories also, how you have enjoyed it. So hypothetically you are thinking it now, completely at the mental level. So once it reaches to some level, you can't just maintain as it is, you have to operate. You are coming to a functional level. So this whole operation can be explained using this Paticca. So when the avidya is there, when the ignorance is there, we do a lot of fabrications. We are tempted to do a lot of fabrications. So that's why we can't simply know that the name and form is now tangled with the consciousness. We can't see that. So we are fully involved that. We are pumping it. We are promoting it. We are promoting thinking, fantasizing. Because the mind is quite ignorant. Ignorant mind is more fabricating mind. So once it reaches some level, now you operate at the salayatana. then the salayatana get into the contact, passa, and now the feelings, the pleasurable feelings, and to that you get further desire, tanha, and you are grasping it. You are born into a new world. You forget about the present moment. You are now lost in a fantasy world, a tasty world. You can't beat the feeling. So that is how they are promoting it, marketing it, right? You can't beat the feeling. Oh, you are there, fully trapped in it. Born there, you are trapped in it, in a new world. So this is how the Parisampada is happening every day, every time, not every time, quite often, once you are trapped in a certain experience. And apply this Parisampada there. That is what necessary for the practitioners. So don't think about the past life, present life, future life. Just apply the whole Parisampada to the present incident when you are trapped. So more you do it, all these different links start fading away. That's a beautiful thing. So you can remember, probably you can read. That is a beautiful sutta called Pacchaya Samuppanna Sutta in the Nidana Sangyutta. In the Sangyutta Nikaya, connected discourses of the Buddha. There's a beautiful sutta. I mean, all those suttas are totally onto Parisampada in the Nidana Sangyutta, Nidana Vagga, in the connected discourses, Sangyutta Nikaya. So a series of suttas are there where Buddha explains this information. So how this the pacchaya, you mean this the products, I mean actually the important thing is the principle. Imasmin sati idang hoti, imasuppada idang uppajjati, imasmin asati idang nahoti, imasa nirodha idang nirujjati. So this is the main principle operating throughout the Parisampada. It is not the important thing that you memorize all the 12 links. What you need to thoroughly know is this principle. When this is available, it is possible to happen this. With the arising of this also arises. When this is not available, this can't be. With the cessation of this, that also cease. So if we apply this principle to certain 2 links, when the presence of avidya, ignorance, fabrications are possible, sankharas are possible. With the arising of avidya, fabrications also arise, sankharas also arise. When there is no ignorance, there can't be the fabrications. With the cessation of ignorance, fabrications also will cease. So all the links ultimately cease. So how are you going to explain it from 3 lives? Say if the last links belong to the future life, how are you going to experience this right now? So the yogi who is practicing Vipassana will understand all these links are now fading away. They are not operating. There may be instances your mind is fairly endowed with wisdom, whole chain is broken. It's not operating and your mind is completely, open, empty, no name and form operating. And you can simply be. There is no salayatana into the trapped type of experience. So you are fully aware, by the way. So the whole links start fading away. So each and every link, Buddha mentioned, anicchang, vaya dhammang, nirodha dhammang, kaya dhammang, vaya dhammang, viraga dhammang, nirodha dhammang. Kaya dhammang, they are fading away. Vaya dhammam, they disappear. Nirodha dhammam, they cease. Kaya dhammam, vaya dhammam, viraga dhammam, they become kind of discolored like. It is not immediately you disappear the whole thing. As a result of the practice, these certain links starts fading away, reducing their impact. And ultimately there may be instance, it's not operating anymore, stopped. So therefore, it is not that we are to try the 3 life model. Rather, we have to use the Parisampada to the present life, to present events, present incidents. Then you will understand much value in the Parisampada. You can read, by the way, there's a book today also we have given that Manasai Mayava, The Magic of the Mind, give a thorough understanding about this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of something that came to mind now,
Yeah.
with the ice cream example. Now, what you said, just by, say, when we are tasting the ice cream and seeing the fading, those 4 things you said just now, kaya dhammang, vaya dhammang, like that, you can see at the end of it, there's no trace of the taste of it at all.
Exactly.
That very moment you can experience what we are talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Now even the Buddha can taste an ice cream.
Yes.
But there is no any kind of a desire when he is eating ice cream.
When you look at it this way, there's no. You're looking at it not from a desire point of view. No,
Yeah.
you're looking at it in a very scientific. Isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
because it's possible.
Yes.
So without being trapped in this vicious cycle, you still can have an ice cream.
Absolutely.
So don't prohibit eating ice cream. So we'll get it next month also.
Thank you.
But see how to taste it without having a desire. So that's the beauty of it. That's a challenge in a way, isn't it? You can even practice while eating. So how, without being trapped in it, without having a desire or craving to it, is it still possible for you to taste it? Isn't it? It's possible. That's what the Buddha is. So the Dhamma is showing. So Buddha can taste it. So there's a beautiful sutta, I think it's Subha Sutta or something. So there is one young guy being the task to make a research on the Buddha. So he keep following the Buddha for 6 months, trying to learn this and that and observing his behavior, and ultimately he published his research. So he gave the report to his teacher. Yes, sir? What's his name? Can't remember. I think Subha or someone. I can't remember. So there he mentioned, so that sutta is there. Rasa patisangvedi ko pana bhagava nocha rasa raga patisangvedi. Rasa patisangvedi. So that means he feels the taste. But there is no inclined, lustful thought, greedy thoughts towards the taste. So that's the difference. Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. So if there are no more questions, then we can wind up the session. Okay, fine. So today we have several sharing of minutes. Number 1, today's breakfast dana was offered by Ranjani family. May the merits accrued be helpful to have a good sansaric journey to pass away parents, Mr. and Mrs. Samarasinghe, and all other relatives who need merits. Then number 2, during the retreat, lunch dana was offered by Priyantha Chandradeva. Wish to dedicate the merits accumulated to my parents for good health and sammaditthi, all my teachers, relatives and friends for good health and sammaditthi, all past teachers, relatives and friends to a better sansaric journey, all office colleagues who supported and who have criticized me for good health, me for good health and sammaditthi. Venerable Bhante and all yogis at Kalalgoda, especially Dilhara, who always include myself even when I was late. Good. Number 3, we have good news. Ishanka is blessed with a baby girl. May she and the baby be protected by the noble triple gem. Okay, Ishanka. No? Ishanka is a frequent visitor, frequent yogi coming with her husband here. And last month she informed that to me also, and so we can be glad, and maybe once they come we can have a cake maybe. Okay, then we'll wind up the session, and we have spent fair amount of time today and the last few days. All the merits that what we have accumulated we share with all the past relatives and all the celestial beings and whoever in need of merits. And we wish these merits help us also to understand the Buddha's teaching, practice it to the best of our ability, attain path, fruition, nibbana. We'll recite the traditional verses. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiya. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiya. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So in order to observe Ajivattamaka Sila, you may recite Namo Tassa 3 times.